Wasabi wallet, unfairly private.
What's up everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at a mobile Bitcoin wallet for both iOS and Android called Blue Wallet. It has the capability of regular Bitcoin transactions as well as utilizing the Lightning Network. I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions and this is your daily session.
Hodl that Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, I just want to give a big shout out to sponsors of the show, LEDN.io. This is where you can use your Bitcoin for a few different services. They've got savings accounts where you can earn interest on your Bitcoin. They've got their Bitcoin backed loans, which was the first thing I ever used from them. This is where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral to obtain a Canadian or US dollar loan. So in my case, I was in a bit of a pinch. I needed to get my hands on dollars, but I didn't want to sell my Bitcoin. So I was able to park it in a dedicated address and audit it 24/7 and receive a Canadian dollar loan within 24 hours. After that, when I paid back my loan, I got back the exact same Bitcoin. And then finally, they've also got their B2X offering. This uses the same loan mechanism to instantly buy more Bitcoin, effectively doubling your Bitcoin on the spot. If you want to check out any of this, there's a link in the show notes down below. And if you opt to use this link for a Bitcoin backed loan, they'll actually give you $50 worth of Bitcoin for free. And secondly, we've got Coinberry. This has been my go-to spot to buy Bitcoin as of late for stacking sats. And it's a few great things about Coinberry. Number one, their web interface is awesome. They've also got a great mobile app that allows easy access. And then a few other things outside of that, the speed of funding is fantastic here in Canada using e-transfers. I've only ever had to wait personally around 20 minutes to get my account funded. And besides that, I also really love their dollar cost averaging, their autopilot program. So you can set the amounts and the intervals at which you'd like to buy, and it takes all of the emotion out of trying to time your Bitcoin buys. A great way to stack sats. So if you want to check them out, they've got a killer deal right now where if you use the link provided in the show notes, after your first $50 purchase, you actually get $20 for free. So do check them out. And with that, let's dive into the show. So here we are on the main screen of Blue Wallet. Now this one has a previously set up wallet, but more or less what you're going to see when you first open up this app is a screen that is blank, says create a wallet, and there will be an empty transaction field down below. So all you're going to need to do initially is hit this create a wallet plus button. You're presented with the option between Bitcoin and Lightning, and we're going to start with Bitcoin. And if you like, you can name it, but I'm just going to leave it as my first wallet for now. I'm going to hit create. Now it should be noted you can also import a wallet. So if you had an old wallet that you'd like to add in here, you would hit that, and you're going to have a phrase of words that you're going to input to recover it. So if we hit create, then this is what I'm talking about, this phrase of 24 words. This is the backup to your wallet. If anything goes wrong, if you delete the app, if you lose your phone, anything like this, this will allow you to recover your funds. However, it's important to note that this phrase of 24 words is very much like a regular key, in that if you give somebody a copy of your key, or if they obtain a copy of your key, they can access anything within it, which means that if somebody gets a copy of these words, they can steal all your money. So you want to write this down on paper and keep it somewhere safe. You don't want to keep it digitally, because if somebody gets access to a computer or wherever you have it, then they can also steal your funds. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I wrote this down. And there we go. I've got this wallet right here, and I can tap on it and go into it. And this is where I access everything to do with that new wallet that I've just created. Now let's just have a quick overview of what's in front of us. We have the wallet balance in Bitcoin. You can tap to see Satoshis, which is a smaller unit of Bitcoin. There are 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. Or you can tap again and see a dollar value, or whatever your local currency is, which you can set in the settings. Now, below that, we see marketplace and local trader, and we will dive into those in a moment. And then you'll have a history of transactions for this specific wallet, a place to buy Bitcoin if you choose to go through that route. And then you have receive and send screens, as well as further options up top, a few extra things like renaming your wallet or exporting it, and again, options to buy Bitcoin. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and receive some Bitcoin into this wallet. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on the receive, and it does the first time that you ever open this up, it's going to say, hey, you're about to receive money into this wallet. Have you backed it up? Did you write down your phrase? Now I'm going to say yes, and that will bring up my receive screen. If you hit no, it will show you your words and give you the opportunity to write them down yet again. Okay, so this is a QR code that anybody in front of you holding a Bitcoin wallet on their phone can scan to send you money. Down below, these digits are also your wallet address. You can tap those to copy them and then text them or message them to anybody you like. And then you can also designate a specific amount in Bitcoin you'd like to receive if you want, and that will be coded into the QR code. You can also hit share, and this shows you all of the different apps or people or individuals that you can share this to and link to wherever you like. So you can share it more directly than just copy and pasting. Okay, so I have already tapped and copied my address here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate into an exchange app that I've used to buy some Bitcoin, and I'm going to send it off the exchange into this Bitcoin wallet that I've just created, so it's now in my own custody. So we'll just close out of this, and I'm going to open up Coinberry. So if you're in Canada, you do have access to use Coinberry. Now I've used, I have this all set up, so I'm not going to go into depth of exactly what I'm doing within the Coinberry app, but I will link down below as well to a tutorial that I made around using Coinberry. So right now I've got 0.0232 Bitcoin in my Coinberry account, and I would like to withdraw that. So I'm just going to go hit withdraw. I'm going to hit, I'd like to pick my Bitcoin. I'd like to take all of it out, and then it gives me the option to scan a QR code or paste in an address. And as you recall, we already copied the address from Blue Wallet. So I'm just going to go paste. Okay, and that all looks good to me. I'm going to hit confirm. Perfect, and we can see a zero balance. Now sometimes it takes a little bit of time to send off a custodial exchange to a wallet that you own yourself, because they tend to batch all the transactions together to be a bit more efficient. But in a moment, we should see an updated balance from Blue Wallet that we have received some funds. So to get out of this screen, you just hit X. And if you don't see a balance yet, you can always swipe down and that will refresh, and it may or may not have dropped yet. Oh, and there we can see, just down below, we see a few seconds ago, we have an incoming transaction for 0.227 Bitcoin. Now, a confirmation takes typically around 10 minutes, and after those 10 minutes, that will be spendable and it will be reflected in my balance above. Okay, so we have a confirmation, and this amount is now reflected in the balance and is spendable. So let's practice sending some out to another wallet. And in fact, what I'm going to show you is you can actually send between different wallets. So this was a wallet that already existed here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into it. I'm going to hit receive, and I'm going to copy that address. And then I'll back out of this wallet, and I'll go over to the one with funds and send over some from here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send, and I'm going to paste in the address that I just copied, and I would like to send, let's see, 0.0005, something like that, okay? And now that I've designated the amount of Bitcoin that I'd like to send, I can attach a note to it if I like. I don't really need to. And then lastly, the important thing that you'd like to do here is set your fee. So fees are designated in Satoshis per byte. That is that measurement there. Right now it's set to the fastest available, and this is dynamic depending on how busy the network is. Now I'm not in a particular hurry, so I'm gonna lower it down quite a bit. Yeah, pretty low here. And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm good with that, just tap outside, and then I can hit next. Now it's saying that you're going to send this much to this address. Here's your fee, ends up being about 3 cents. And I can demand transaction details, or I just can go ahead and hit send now. I'm good with that. And it says done. And so if I navigate back out now, oh, and this will repopulate, it shows sending out, it adjusts my balance right away. If I head over to this wallet and I hit refresh, I can see an incoming transaction for, this is denominated in sats, so that's why you see the difference there, 50,000, but I can tap and it'll show dollars, or it'll show in Bitcoin 0.0005, which is what we sent out. Now, a couple other things when it comes to sending here that we should note, that you can paste an address, but you can also hit scan, and this opens up your camera to scan any QR code in front of you. And outside of that, when you have an address, you can actually go to the top right and you can add a recipient. So adding a recipient allows you to send to more than one person at a time and designate different amounts for each person. And this allows you to actually save on fees because it is less intensive on the Bitcoin network. It requires less computational space and thus will reduce your fees rather than constructing those transactions separately. Outside of that, you also see allowing for a fee bump. So this means that if you send a transaction and you have this feature toggled on and you find that it's taking too long, maybe you put too low of a fee and you need it quicker, well, then you can tap on the transaction and speed it up. And you can also tap to use the entire balance of your wallet, or remove a recipient as well, which is grayed out because I haven't added one. Now, when we add a recipient, one quick thing, it is now swipeable from side to side. So you say how much you want to send and to whom, and then how much you want to send and to whom, and then you hit next, and that will send it all out in one fell swoop. Regarding the fee bumping, you can also tap and there's a little button that says bump fee. One final thing to take a look at within the regular Bitcoin wallet is they have the marketplace, which is just a list of various services, places to buy Bitcoin, nearby Bitcoin ATMs, trading mechanisms, peer-to-peer online trading, various vouchers and paying your bills, other services like travel, and then places that you can donate to a good cause, as well as security. So this is ever changing, so I'm not going to dive into each individual one. And then they also have local trader, which allows you to find people near you that are buying and selling Bitcoin, and you can toggle between I'm buying and I'm selling. This will gradually probably get filled up more and more, but it really depends where on the globe you are, how many people you're going to see nearby. So now that we played with a regular Bitcoin wallet, we're going to swipe to the side and we're going to start up a Lightning wallet. So all we're going to do, hit that plus sign, select Lightning, and then hit create, or you can import an old wallet if you so choose. So we hit create. And what this shows you is a backup of your Lightning Network wallet. So you can save this, this URL down below, and you can also scan this. And once you've done that and saved it somewhere, you can hit OK, I have saved it. This stores a backup of your Lightning Network channels, which is a little bit different from how Bitcoin works, but just know it's a way of backing up your funds so that they're not fully lost if you delete the app or do something by accident. Now that this is created, I can tap on it and we see stuff that is similar to the Bitcoin wallet, but a little bit different as well. We of course have our receive and send. We have a different marketplace that shows us a lot of Lightning related stuff, which also again is ever changing. Now outside of that though, we have our wallet. It defaults to sats, I believe, but you can also see Bitcoin and dollars. And now the interesting part is about getting money into your Lightning wallet using the Manage Funds button. So when you hit Manage Funds, again, for the first time it says, did you keep your backup? I'm going to say, yes, I have. And it gives me these options: refill, refill with external wallet, or withdraw. And so refilling means you're filling Bitcoin into this wallet. You're creating what's called as a Lightning Network channel. Okay, so if I refill, I have the option to send money via a Bitcoin wallet. I also have the option to refill with external wallet, which just gives you a Bitcoin address that you can send Bitcoin to, and it will create a channel that allows you to receive Lightning payments. And then outside of this, withdraw is how you get out of Lightning back into a regular Bitcoin transaction. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to refill using one of the existing Bitcoin wallets that we've already created and funded. So we're going to hit Manage Funds, we're going to hit Refill. We're going to go to the one with the larger balance because this one is not yet full. And all we're going to do is we're going to send about half of this over. So we're going to go 0.01 Bitcoin. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the fee as high so that it confirms quickly. I'm going to hit Next. And it's just confirming everything. Now the fee is a bit higher. It's 48 cents because I want it quick. I'm going to hit Send now. And it looks like we're all good to go. And once that transaction comes in, we're going to see a list of transactions down below incoming for funding, but it will not be spendable again until we get a full confirmation on the Bitcoin network, at which point we will have a balance in our Lightning network, which will then be spendable. Okay, so we now have a confirmation of that incoming Bitcoin transaction, and that has now funded our wallet with 1 million sats or 0.01 Bitcoin. This is now spendable, and we will get to that, but I just want to try receiving Bitcoin, or rather some Lightning Network Bitcoin into this wallet one other way, and that is simply by going to the bottom, tapping the Receive screen. And now Lightning is a little bit different from regular Bitcoin in that normally you have to create an invoice in order to receive Lightning. Now it's not always the case, but by and large that is kind of the case across the board right now. So you need to request a specific amount, and most Lightning wallets tend to be denominated in sats because you can send quite smaller amounts through Lightning. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an invoice for 500 Satoshis, which is about 4 cents. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit Create Invoice. And so this brings up a QR code, which anybody with a Lightning Network wallet can scan and send to. Or there's this garbled text down below, and that is my invoice as well, which I can just tap to copy and then paste into whatever else I want, message it to somebody, so on and so forth. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to an external Lightning wallet to send into Blue Wallet. All right, so we're just going to get out of Blue Wallet for a second here. And we're going to go up and we're going to open one called Wallet of Satoshi, which is another Lightning Bitcoin Network wallet. And as soon as I open this, typically it will detect, yep, it detects that I've already copied an invoice into my clipboard, which it says, okay, 500 Satoshis, and this is what it looks like. And it's going to be about 5 to 6 cents. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to hit pay. Now it looks like that is all set. Let's go back to Blue, and we can see that we've received on our end, and we should have an updated balance of 1,500,000 Satoshis. There we go. And that is all spendable right away the moment you receive it. So let's look at how to send out. So I'm now going to navigate to yet another Lightning Network wallet that I've got sitting here called Phoenix. So Phoenix is non-custodial, meaning that I'm not trusting anybody else to hold my funds for me. I'm just going to hit Receive, and I'm going to make an invoice for, say, 1,000 Satoshis. I'll create the invoice. And at this point, on this wallet, a little bit different. It doesn't show you the garbled text down below, but nonetheless, you can tap and copy that invoice, navigate back to Blue. Now it notices right away, again, that I've copied an invoice, and it says, do you want to use this? I'll hit OK. says, hey, this person wants you to send 1,000 Satoshis. I'm going to say yes. Now, I should note that you can also, when you go to hit send, you can scan, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. But if I hit pay, and we can see that's done. And we should have our account adjust as, there we go, and it goes down. And there are routing fees for Lightning, but they are very negligible, a few Satoshis, fractions of a penny. So much more affordable. And if I navigate back here, I can see within Phoenix, I've also received some Lightning funds. Now, back in Blue Wallet, as I was saying, you can send and you can scan a QR code just by hitting the scan button here. So if you had one right in front of you, that would be an easy option. So now we've successfully both received by refilling and by making an invoice, and we've been able to send out to an invoice via Lightning. Now, one last note on the Lightning app here is that if you want to take your Lightning Network funds and put them back into a regular Bitcoin address, all you need to do is tap on Manage Funds, go down to Withdraw, and you'll be bumped to an external website called Zigzag. And what this does is it, as a service, exchanges Lightning Network funds back to regular Bitcoin. So you can tap and select Bitcoin and have a Lightning Network transaction get sent to a Bitcoin address. All right, and you would just pull your Bitcoin address from your Blue Wallet as well. Now, another option is actually to just send your Lightning Network funds externally to something like Phoenix Wallet, and Phoenix can auto swap and send to regular Bitcoin addresses as well. I find that's also pretty convenient. Or if you're getting into the advanced functions, you would have this set up and actually linked with your own Bitcoin Lightning Network node, in which case you have full control over these funds and can easily pull them back out into Bitcoin if you're diving into that realm, which we'll touch on in just a moment here. Now, I just wanted to touch on a couple quick things before we take a look at this network section. One thing is a Bitcoin node is a very important thing, and if you're extensively using Bitcoin, it's a very good idea to run your own node. Now, I've done a tutorial on something called myNode, which I'll be referring to, and I will link that video down in the show notes. But essentially what a node does is it ensures that all of the information that you're getting about your Bitcoin and anything received into your wallet and the state of the entire network is true. You get to validate everything yourself. It also helps a little bit with privacy. So you're no longer trusting somebody else to run a node for you, which is the case if you don't run your own node. And then outside of that, the Lightning Network wallet on this particular implementation, if you don't connect to your own Lightning node, it is a custodial wallet, meaning that you are trusting Blue Wallet to hold the funds and transact for you. So not bad for small amounts, but I wouldn't advise having too much more than 10, 20, maybe 50 bucks sitting in a wallet like this. Otherwise, it's good to get it into your own custody. Now, hopefully over time, there'll be even better options, stuff along the lines of what you'll see from things like Phoenix, where it's non-custodial, but you don't have to connect manually to something external. But for now, you can connect externally, especially using myNode if you choose to get into these advanced features. But that is besides the fact. Next little bit is a little bit more for the advanced users. Let's dive in. So we've now gone through all of the basic functionality of this. All I wanted to touch on was just a few of the settings here, which is located once we're out of the wallet, so not actually in your Lightning wallet, not actually in your Bitcoin wallet, but fully out so that we can view everything and all of our transactions in aggregate. In the top right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots. You can tap on that, and here are all of your settings. Now, a few things. Under General, on launch, you have the option to either view all the wallets, like we were just able to scroll along them, or pick a default wallet that it will go into. So I'm just going to view all wallets. You can also have advanced mode on, which I'm just going to show you what that does. All that really happens when you have advanced mode on is when you create a new wallet, when you tap on Bitcoin, it gives you some advanced options, which are different types, different address schemes for Bitcoin. Now it defaults to something called BEC32. That simply means that the address starts with BC1, and it is the most efficient and low fee way of utilizing Bitcoin. Now there may be some issues with compatibility in using this, in that people with outdated wallets may not recognize your address, at which point you could use the SegWit, and that is built for compatibility to work with older wallets. And then also there's HD SegWit, which multiple addresses, it regenerates a new address every time. It's much better to have multiple addresses than a single one, unless it's some sort of auditing need in which you need to do that. Now, outside of that, you can also tap on Lightning, and this one gives you the advanced option to connect to LND Hub, which is a way to manage your Lightning entirely non-custodially. And we were going to touch on that in a moment as well. Now, let's go back into the settings in the top right. You can change your local currency here. You can change your local language. Within security, you have the ability to turn on biometrics, which in the case of this phone would be a fingerprint to open your wallet. You can also add a password which encrypts your entire wallet as a backup, and it's password protected, which I highly recommend doing if you're having any meaningful amount of funds sitting in this wallet. Now, this is where we get into the interesting stuff, the networking. Now, I did touch on this just before diving in, and this is where you would link up with your own Electrum server or with your own Lightning node. For Electrum server, you can tap there. What you're going to need is the IP address of your node, and typically you just fill in this as they suggest, your TCP port, which is 50001, or SSL port, which is 50002. So you just put in the IP address and then type in those two values and hit save. That will connect you to your own node, and this is helping you self-verify everything to do with every Bitcoin transaction that comes into your wallet. When it comes to Lightning, this hub here connecting to your LND hub will indeed allow you to actually non-custodially hold Lightning funds. Everything else is custodial when you don't do this step, but if you're into using your own node and you're doing those extra steps, you may as well connect this app here. So all you need, again, is you need the IP address, and then there's actually a great guide to this on the myNode website. So essentially you can navigate there, get the IP address of your wallet via the settings menu, and then you're just going to tag on the port, which is port 3000 if you're using myNode, which I did again make a video for, and that link is down below on how to set up myNode. Anyways, that's it for the advanced stuff. And other than that, if you go into more about following these guys on Twitter, supporting them, dropping them a tip, kudos to the guys at Blue Wallet. They keep on innovating, and not a day goes by where I don't see some sort of awesome update on Twitter about a new feature that they're working on or implementing. So again, kudos and keep building. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're watching this on YouTube, but I'm also on a variety of other platforms, so if you can, do check me out elsewhere. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, live streaming, stuff like this. I'm also on DLive, I'm on Library, I'm on a whole bunch of other things, so just search around, you'll find me elsewhere. I also do a lot of news-related stuff, so you can find me audio only on the podcast platform of your choice. Outside of that, if you want to help the show in another way, you can hit up the sponsors I mentioned down below. That was LEDN and Coinberry. They've both got some killer deals for you, as well as Wasabi Wallet, which is a desktop wallet to help with your Bitcoin privacy. Besides that, if you really liked what you saw, you can always drop me a Lightning Network tip at my tippin.me page. That's tippin.me/@BTC Sessions. And with that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will see you next time for your daily session.